The rebel yell, more, more, more. Trust the Prophets. It's a formula here with the weakest Billy Idol impression ever recorded by Trust the Prophets, at least. But we are talking about the Rebel Stakes here Saturday, 2/22/25. It's going to be run at Oaklawn Park. What does the Rebel mean with respect to the Kentucky Derby lately? It doesn't mean a whole lot. Timberlake won it last year through Brad Cox. Confidence game before that, Uno Ho Concert Tour, a couple Bafferts in there. But a lot of NAs. Confidence game got 10th. Really not much of a factor there. And let's take a quick look through some of the horses that ran second and third here. You're also not getting too impressed. Common Defense, Northern Flame, Red Route 1, Reincarnate, Ethereal Road, Barber Road, Hosier, Big Lake. You're not seeing the big names here who were making a factor into the Derby. And even after Nadal, Accession, Basin, not super impressive. But yeah, you look down here, you see American Pharaoh, but to get there, you have to get through, some less than stellar Derby participants. Granted, okay, Omaha Beach is there. Not going to take anything away from Omaha Beach. Fantastic horse. Ran a great time too. 142.42. And I've got that highlighted here. A sub 143 is more or less what you want to say you've got a Derby horse here. There's a lot of them that are above that. A lot of 143s here. And maybe that's why there's a lot of NAs. Injuries as well, right? Concert Tour at Nadal, we know those horses had injuries. Unoho, was dealing with his own things. Timberlake, I think, got set back last year. So there's a mixed bag here, but there's also not a whole lot of depth. I don't feel like we see the same thing here that we saw at the Risen Star this past week. Historically, at least, recent history in terms of who's putting in for the Derby. But what do we have here? We've got February 22nd. It's a G2, $1.25 million. Huge purse for this one. Oaklawn Park, 8.5 furlongs. The extra F there is for the half a furlong, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a little mistake. 1 1/16 mile. We got 14 horses entered in. Let's get down to the discussion, shall we? Moving forward to Coal Battle. Coal Battle, 4 wins in 6 races for Coal Battle. Winner the Smarty Jones going gate to wire in that one for a 4-length win over Mo Quality. I'm highlighting here the 146.43 to show you how not impressive that is to me. My apologies, but just not thoroughly impressed here. Winner of the Springboard Mile starting out in the back, working his way up. So he's done it in a couple different ways, right? Got a half a length win over Speed King in that one. Again, I'm just not super impressed with Coal Battle in terms of, lack of competition, lack of final times. All this stuff is a concern for me for Coal Battle. Obviously, you like to see a winner. I always used to say, show me a winner, show me a winner. And this would be a horse that qualifies for that, right? 66% of the time a winner. But this is a pretty high level race. I think there's going to be some competition for him here. Admiral Dennis. 2 wins in 4 races, won an allowance optional claimer at Fairgrounds recently, going 8.5 furlongs in that one. Starting out in the middle, working his way up for a 3/4 length win over Vamo Carlitos, horse that we just saw at the Risen Star. 4th at the Gun Runner, never really got going, faded down the stretch, finishing 10 lengths behind Built in that one. Broke his maiden going a mile, beating Mischievous Time by 3 lengths. I will say a change to Florent Giraud last race. Got a win in the allowance optional claimer. We'll see if that carries over here into Admiral Dennis's run at the Rebel. Sandman. A lot of people trust the Prophets really behind Sandman. Second at the Southwest Stakes after a bad start. A couple horses in that arena, and we'll talk about the other one in a bit here. 8+ lengths back, moved his way up, closed to within 1 length of Speed King, who was the winner in that race. Winner of a 130K 8 furlong allowance optional claimer at Oaklawn, starting 2 to 3 lengths off the pace, closing down the stretch for a 1 3/4 length win over Big Boat. Mark Cassie, Christian Torres, Tappet. This is a horse that, based on progeny here, is going to be having an easy time down the stretch. Not easy time. Should look good down the stretch. That's a better way to put it. Hypnus just broke his maiden. This is one that I actually called on Capping the card with Riders Up Tim, Hypnus, one win, one race, broke his maiden at Fairgrounds, 64K maiden special weight, going the distance, 8.5 furlongs, starting out 6 lengths back, working his way up, 2.5 length win over Cromwell in that one. Can make peak, BJ Hernandez, Into Mischief. Gotta like those options here for Hypnus. Madikit Road. So Bob Baffert does like to use this race, as we've seen before. Concert Tour and Nadal have had success in this race. This is a horse that is yet to finish outside of the money, but he's getting those small fields in California, right? So let's look at the most recent one. Third place in a 1 mile at the Robert Lewis in Santa Anita, out of 5 horses, though. Started out in 4th there and ended up losing to Citizen Bull by 6 lengths in that one. I mean, we're getting IRAD on this horse. That's worth something, I think, but I don't see it. This is not Baffert's best horse. We know that. It's not even his second best horse. May not even be his third best horse. You want me to go through them real quickly? My favorite Baffert horses right now. So at the top, you got Citizen Bull, and then you got Barnes, and then you got Getaway Car. Madikit Road might even be behind Gaming, in my opinion. I don't know if I can put this horse even 3rd or 4th for Baffert right now. So I'm not going to put him 3rd or 4th in this race. Publisher. Here's an interesting one. So we got a jockey upgrade here. Just going to flag that for you right now. Flavian Pratt instead of Eric Asmussen. So 6th place at the Southwest Stakes, 7 lengths behind at the half-mile mark, getting pushed on the rail by American Promise. It looked like he was going to make some sort of move, but that all got stopped. And then he ended up being 7 lengths back of Speed King in that one. So maybe he had a little bit of a push in him, but we'll never know. Second at a 8.5 furlong maiden special at Oaklawn, starting 2 lengths back in that one, set behind the pace, set by American Promise. That name comes up a lot. Eventually ended up being 1.5 lengths behind American Promise by the end in that one. Curious to see whether this horse has learned something, whether the training staff here, Steve Asmussen, have figured out something for him. This will be a curious one, and I think there's going to be some value here if you do want to play Publisher. Dream in Blue. As you can see, I use lowercase here anytime you've got yourself a spell check horse. So 1 win, 1 second place, 4 races lifetime, took 4 times to break his maiden at OP. That's Oaklawn Park, maiden special weight, going 6 furlongs, starting out 4 lengths behind, moving up for a 3-length win over That's the One. Went a mile once in those 3 maiden specials. Wasn't his best race, but most of the time this horse has been running 6 furlongs. I just don't see it here. I just don't see it here for Dream in Blue. I think there's better horses in this race. Innovator, 1 win, 4 second places, 1 third place lifetime. 3rd at Lecomte, taking the pace early, fading, giving way to Disco Time and Built, who had a nice little charge down the stretch there and losing by 1 3/4 lengths. So held on to maintain close proximity, but not super strong. Broke his maiden in his 7th race, going 6 furlongs against mostly firsters in that race. Pace forward horse has looked impressive at times. Distance could be a factor. I'm still maintaining that because he did fade that last race, but I will say I don't think it's as much of a factor because he did hold on for 3rd, and that could be worth something in this race. Authentic being the sire, been a pretty solid sire so far. So Innovator, curious play here. Smoken Wicked, 4 wins, 1 second, 1 third. First at the Louisiana Futurity for whatever that's worth. 5 horses in that one, going 6 furlongs. Ended up being Voila Magic by 5 lengths. First at the Louisiana Champions Day Juvenile, 6 furlongs again, winning by 2 lengths over Hey Jude. Did run in some graded stakes races in 2024, Champagne Stakes in particular. Started out in the back, moved to 4th, but still 15 lengths back of Chancer McPatrick. Also ran in the Hopeful Stakes and was a number of lengths back there. Has yet to truly stretch out, though, which is another concern I have here for Smoken Wicked. Bullard. This is another shipper, but this time it's coming from Michael McCarthy. Horse that's run against these Baffert horses in the past. 3rd at San Vicente, 6 lengths behind Barnes in that one by the finish. Winner of the Bob Hope, starting out in 5th, last place in that one because, again, we're talking small fields. Working his way up the stretch to beat Madikit Road by 4 3/4 lengths. It's a horse I don't want to say I was high on, but I thought on in terms of West Coast horses, it was one at least to follow here. Michael McCarthy, Gunrunner, Rispoli. Can he make a dent in this race? The shippers I have a little concern over. This is one of them. I don't like how he did in the San Vicente, but I did like how he did in Bob Hope. If it was just that race, I probably would have put him higher. Speed King, 2 wins in 3 races. Not too bad. Not too bad. Winner of the Southwest Stakes, ran a 145.86 in that one. Beat a charging Sandman, beat a charging Tiztastic. Um, some people like that race. I don't think the final time is very strong. Like I said, we're looking for a sub 143 here, so he's got a ways to go in order to make some sort of impression here. Second at the Springboard Mile, was half a length back of Coal Battle in that one. Again, not great race time, so nothing that I would say sticks out as being a Derby horse here. Um, yeah, we'll move on from Speed King. Some people have him high because of that Southwest Stakes. I get it. I get it. But I think there's better horses that came out of that race. Brereton's Baytown, um, 2 wins in 7 races, won a claiming race at Laurel Park, going 8.5 furlongs there, beating Bangkok's Bob by half a length, 149.96. I do want to point out, we just had the Risen Star this weekend. Magnitude ran a 9 furlong, 148. And this horse got a 149.96. I don't want to berate anyone's horse, but in terms of mediocre, that's his best race. So this is going to either be a likely scratch or it's going to be one of your last place horses here for Paul McAtee. Tiztastic. Okay, so this is another horse that I'm very curious about here. Third at the Southwest Stakes. Not doesn't jump off the board at you. I know Speed King won. We just berated Speed King's final time, but you talk about 2 horses that were second and third, Sandman and Tiztastic. Both of them had issues in that race. Tiztastic started off 2 lengths back, then falling way back to 13 lengths by the 3/4 mile mark, closing to lose by 2.5 lengths there. So something went wrong for Tiztastic, was getting pushed around, didn't handle the traffic well. Third at the Kentucky Jockey Club, starting out near the pace, maintaining for 4 lengths, and maintaining for a 4-length loss to First Resort. Second place at the Street Sense. We're also talking about a jockey change here to Jose Ortiz. So the finish that he had, much like Sandman at Southwest Stakes, leads me to think that Tiztastic has more to show here. I do like this horse. I think he's one of the top horses in this race. Then we got Hot Gunner. We're talking another Instatoss here. How much time do we spend on him? Winner of a 1-mile allowance at Sam Houston, closing from 10 lengths back at the half-mile point to beat Missing Rocks by a head. Ran last place at the Smarty Jones, 12 lengths behind Coal Battle, who I already told you I'm not really thrilled with his times. 12 lengths back of that. You can do the math. Instatoss. And there we have it. We're at the end here. So who do I like? So the way I think the odds are going to play out, I think Sandman is going to come in with a pretty low number. So I'm going to make him my safe play. I do like Sandman here, but I really like Tiztastic. In fact, if I'm going to pick a winner, I think you're going to get more value from Tiztastic, and I think there's a better chance he's going to win, again, in my opinion here. So those are my safe and value plays. If we're going to key anyone, I mean, you could key anyone between Tiztastic and Sandman. I think they're very close. I think they're both going to be there. And then after that, I like Innovator. I think that could be a pace setter that could fade back for a piece, a third place or so. And then Publisher. We talked about Steve Asmussen upgrading the jockey here. Publisher, I think, could also get you some significant value here. So no Baffert horse, no Bullard, no Cox horse. I'm fading some of the big names here, and we might be finding ourselves getting some value. I mean, if the Baffert people come out and they start, pumping up Madicott Road, this could be a very profitable race for someone if what I say comes true. There you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. As always, have fun, bet responsibly, and thank you as always for watching as I go to find where is my outro. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, have a good time at Oaklawn.